Hi dear students. So today we are going to start the third unit, that is properties of media and digital transmission. So before moving to concepts of this unit, I want to remind once again to you all that whenever you are attending online class, just assume yourself that you are sitting in a classroom and listening to our lecture. Then only you can understand each and every concept very clearly. I am not telling about only my subject. I am telling about all remaining subjects also. Whenever you are attending online class, just assume yourself as you are sitting in a classroom and lecture is going on in front of you. Means offline lecture is going on. Assume that. Then only you can understand concept clearly. Why I am reminding is, if you can't assume yourself by sitting in class, then you can't get any doubt. So when you don't get any doubt, then it is clear that you can't understand. It is clearly means that you have not understood any of the concept or any of the points from any concept. So better you try to understand each concept clearly, and when you get any doubt, then come for contact classes. It is not compulsory for everyone to attend contact classes, but it is better opportunity for you to clear your doubts. Contact classes are better opportunity. So take use of those contact classes and attend the contact classes and clear your doubts from respective staff members. So today we are going to start the third unit, so that is properties of media and digital transmission. So first in that we study different transmission medias with respective properties. So first of all, I want to discuss what is meant by transmission media. So transmission media are physical infrastructure components that carry data from one computer to another computer or from one location to another location. So in simple, transmission media means it is a physical component that acts as a transmitter, means that transmits or carry data from one point to another point. For example, simple form of transmission media are telephone wires that connect telephones to telephone exchange. Another simple example is when you connect your mobile for charging, so whatever charger adapter is there, that will transmit current signals into your mobile to get your mobile be charged. So this is what transmission media. So that is a physical component that help us to transmit data. Clear? So based on the transmission media properties, based on its properties, we can divide it into main two categories. Concentrate on screen. That are, the transmission media or transmission system is divided into two main categories, that are guided media and unguided media. So first of all, what is meant by guided media? Guided media are based on some physical cable. For example, twisted pair, coaxial cable and optical fiber. So guided media can also be called as wired media. Wired media means in that the whatever transmission component is there, that is wire connected. So from source to destination, whenever you are transmitting data, there will be a proper external wire or hardware wire that transmit your data, or through which we transmit data from source to destination. Clear? So why it is called as wired, you understood, no? Because there is a wired connection between source and destination. Why it is called as guided media is, whenever there is a wired connection from source to destination, transmission path is definitely fixed, right? Means through what path we are transmitting our data, that is fixed, because through nothing but that wire itself for transmission, right? So path is already guided for transmission. That is why such components we call or we categorize as guided media. Understood? So in guided media there are mainly three types, that are coaxial cable, twisted pair and optical fiber. So in today's class we are going to study the first guided media, that is coaxial cable. So now have a look on the diagram of coaxial cable. So this is what coaxial cable here. So now study each part of coaxial cable one by one. So now see here, the first part, this one we call as copper core, because that is made up of copper. And this second part of coaxial cable we name as insulating material. Then third part is this one, this is braided outer conductor, and last part is protective plastic covering. So now what? Here this copper core and braided outer conductor, both we consider as conductors, and these two parts help us to transmit the information. Clear? So this one we call as inner conductor, and this one we call as outer conductor. Clear? This is outer conductor and this is inner conductor, and these two, inner conductor and outer conductor, are placed within insulating material. So why insulating material is necessary here? Because whenever we are transmitting data, some noise may be added to our data. So such noise interference should be avoided, and this insulating material will help us to avoid interference. Means it will not allow any interferences for data transmission. So that is why insulating material is necessary to be placed between inner conductor and outer conductor. Then last part is protective plastic covering. So by name only you can understand, this is a part made up with plastic material, and this will protect the coaxial cable. So in actual it will give the protection for inner materials of coaxial cable. Clear? So as shown in the diagram, cable is an inner central conductor surrounded by an insulating material, which in turn enclosed in the outer conductor. Clear? So once again I will repeat here, copper wire is a inner conductor, braided outer conductor is a outer conductor. So these two, inner conductor and outer conductor, will help us for actual data transmission. These two, in between these two, inner conductor and outer conductor, one more material is fixed there, that is insulating material. So why it is fixed, or what is the help of this material is, it will help us to avoid the interferences that are added to data transmission. Clear? Then the fourth part is plastic covering. So this plastic covering is made up of plastic material, and it will provide protection for remaining three parts of coaxial cable. Then next part, that is characteristics of coaxial cable. So now see characteristics one by one. First characteristic is low cost. I think not necessary to explain. Coaxial cable cost is very low. Second is easy to install, means coaxial cable can be easily added and can be easily removed. It can be connected easily and it can be removed easily. Capacity of coaxial cable is 10 Mbps. Third characteristic is what? Capacity is up to 10 Mbps. So what it means? It means any coaxial cable can transmit 10 megabits per second. In 1 second, coaxial cable can transmit maximum 10 megabits per second. Then fourth point is medium immunity form EMI. So EMI means electromagnetic interference. Electromagnetic interference. So this is the type of interference or error we can say that can be added while transmitting the data. So because of the materials that travel through each other, so some immunity has to be maintained, and in coaxial cable medium immunity is maintained opposite to EMI. Clear? Not high immunity, medium immunity is maintained. Then next one is medium of attenuation. So already have studied the term attenuation in second unit. So attenuation means it will decrease the strength of signal. So whatever signal we are transmitting, its signal strength is decreased because of attenuation, means because of some interference or error. So to avoid that, already we have used insulating material in our coaxial cable. So that insulating material of coaxial cable will avoid attenuation, but not completely in a average rate. Clear? So that is what the last characteristic, medium of attenuation. Then next is advantages of coaxial cable. So first advantage is easy to wire. So based on characteristic only we can understand what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages. So based on characteristic, first advantage is easy to wire, means coaxial cable is easy to connect, and second one is easy to expand. Easy to expand means what? One cable can be easily connected to other cable to expand its length or to expand the distance for transmission. And third one is inexpensive, means its cost is less. Fourth one is moderate level of EMI immunity, means it is on average it will moderate the EMI immunity, means it can avoid the EMI interference. Disadvantages of coaxial cable is single cable failure can take down entire network, means anything happen to one single cable, then entire network gets failed. Clear? Hope you understood coaxial cable. So next one is applications of coaxial cable. So where we can or we have used coaxial cable is, first one is cable television. So whatever cable is connected to your television, in that coaxial cable transmission media is used. Then next one is LANs. LANs means local area network. So in your lab already computers are connected to each other, and that computer is connected to UPS, batteries. Clear? So there all coaxial cable is used. Then another application is telephone. So in telephone cables also coaxial cable is applicable. Clear? Means coaxial cable helps for long distance communication, because television, telephone, these all are long distance communication, no? So it will help for long distance communication. Understood? So still if you have not understood what is coaxial cable, then what you do, take one wire from your phone which is not working, understood, which is not working, then just cut that wire, okay? So in that you will find these four parts of coaxial cable, that are whatever wire you have took, that is overlapped by or that is covered by plastic material, right? and when you cut it, you will inside that wire you will see three parts. So first inner part is made up of copper through which signals are transmitted. Then outer surface is insulating material. Then out of that means outside the insulating material there will be one more outer conductor. Understood? So just try this. Thank you.